Welcome. Today we will discuss vector control of cycloconverter fed induction motor drive. So, we have already discussed schemes for direct and indirect vector control of induction motor. So, in all the schemes of direct and indirect vector control, if the inverter and the front end converter are replaced by cycloconverter, but keeping other signal processing circuits, then the cycloconverter controlled induction motor drive is obtained. So, let us discuss a scheme of cycloconverter fed vector control induction motor drive. So, we have a slip ring induction motor. Let us consider a slip ring induction motor. So, we have a cycloconverter here. So, this is the 3-phase supply. So, this is the speed encoder, mounted on the router, and we have a 3-phase to 2-phase conversion and inverse vector rotation. So, we have the stator voltage Vs feedback, and from the stator voltage feedback we do 3-phase to 2-phase conversion, inverse vector rotation, and we get the angle theta e, and from the speed encoder we get the rotor angle theta r, and we generate the slip angle theta SL, that is theta e minus theta r, and also from the speed encoder we get the speed omega r for speed control. So, we have here vector rotation and 2-phase to 3-phase conversion. So, based on the angle slip angle theta SL, and for that vector rotation we take the command value of the currents IP star and IQ star. So, IP star is obtained from a polarity reverser a controller, and here we have the actual speed feedback, rotor speed feedback omega r, and command value of the speed command. So this is the speed controller, who has the transfer function g. So speed controller output is IP plus or minus, let us say it, IP star dash. Then polarity reverse, this is the polarity reverser, which multiplies plus 1 or minus 1 to generate IQ star, and IQ star is kept at 0 or any value. So from the speed encoder, we get the signal for the polarity reverser. So this is the slip ring induction motor, and its rotor terminals are connected to the cycloconverter, and cycloconverter output is connected to the stator through a transformer, and vector rotate from IP star and IQ star, the vector rotator and 2 phase to 3 phase conversion, it generates the command value of the currents IA star, IB star, and IC star, command value of the 3 phase currents. So let us go to the vector diagram. This is the rotor voltage VR, and current IP is in phase with the voltage VR, and IQ is at quadrature, and this is rotating at speed, slip speed omega SL. And if when the IP is negative, this is in opposite direction for generation. So this is the scheme of slip ring induction, vector controlled slip ring induction motor fed from a cycloconverter. As we understand, this is the slip ring induction motor, and stator is directly connected to 3 phase supply, and rotor terminals convert the rotor slip frequency, rotor EMF through a cycloconverter and connected back to the supply through a transformer. Now for the vector control of the cycloconverter controlled SERBIUS drive, this is a SERBIUS drive. Cycloconverter controlled SERBIUS drive. In the cycloconverter controlled SERBIUS drive, so for the vector control, we have the speed command and the speed feedback, and from the speed controller, so depending upon in which direction the power should flow, a signal plus 1 or minus 1 is multiplied to get command value of the active component of the current IP star. Then reactive component of the current IQ star is kept at 0. So active component of the current IP is in phase with the rotor voltage VR, and IQ is at quadrature. Then this IP star and IQ star, they are converted to 3 phase current commands IA star, IB star, IC star through the unit vector, which unit vector is here is e to the power j theta SL, because control in the rotor side whose speed is slip speed with respect to the MMF rotating speed theta SL. So using this angle theta SL, the unit vector, the 3-phase current commands IA star, IV star, IC star are obtained for the current control of the cycloconverter. Then this theta SL is generated from supply voltage feedback and which generates the angle theta E through PLL, and then the speed encoder generates the angle theta R, then theta SL is theta E minus theta R used for the unit as unit vector. So, this is the scheme. So, let us understand the salient points of this scheme. The cycloconverter sends the slip power SPG to the line for subsynchronous motoring and supersynchronous regeneration. For subsynchronous motoring, slip S is slip S is positive and PG is also positive, subsynchronous motoring, and supersynchronous generating, regeneration, you can say regeneration of the drive. For supersynchronous regeneration, for supersynchronous speed S is negative, and for regeneration generator operation PG is also negative. So, in these two cases, slip power SPG is positive, cycloconverter sends the slip power SPG from rotor to the line. For supersynchronous motoring, slip is negative, but for motoring air gap power is positive, and subsynchronous regeneration, for subsynchronous speeds S is positive, but for regeneration PG is negative. So, for subsynchronous motoring and supersynchronous regeneration, slip power SPG is negative, and cycloconverter feeds slip power SPG to the rotor circuit. That means direction of slip power is negative, indicating that it is flowing from line to the rotor. SPG flows from the line to the rotor. Active component of the current, active current IP is in phase with rotor voltage, rotor slip voltage VR. Reactive current IQ is in quadrature with rotor voltage VR. The command value of IQ, that is IQ star, is kept at 0 or any other value as desired. Speed controller output, as you have seen in the previous slide, slip controller output is multiplied with +1 or -1 by polarity reverser or polarity corrector to generate the active command current IP star. Okay. So, let us consider the case when the motor is accelerating. Command speed is at super synchronous value. That means omega r star command value is greater than synchronous speed omega s. Motor speed omega r at the beginning is less than the synchronous speed. Okay. So, for this consideration, at subsynchronous motoring, IP star is positive. For subsynchronous motoring, the active power has to be power is going out from the rotor, so IP star is positive. So, omega SL, the slip speed is also positive, and phase sequence of rotor current is positive. Because IP is in phase with the rotor voltage, so phase sequence of rotor current is positive. And current IP is in phase with rotor voltage VR, indicating slip power is positive. SPG is greater than 0. Then at the synchronous speed, at the synchronous speed of the rotor, that means omega r equals to omega s. sleep is 0. So, rotor EMF has frequency omega SL which is 0, that means rotor current is DC, and theta SL angle is also, slip angle is also 0. So, rotor IP is direct current. So, at the supersynchronous speed, slip is less than 0 and slip frequency relative speed is also less than 0. So, slip frequency is in opposite direction, slip speed is in the opposite direction. So, with that this polarity reversal multiplies -1. Polarity reversal in this case becomes -1. So, IP star is now negative. Because IP star is negative, IP has reverse polarity with respect to VR. Slip power SPG is less than 0, indicating power flow into the rotor, and the phase sequence of the rotor current is opposite to that for the subsynchronous motoring. So, because power is fed into the rotor, so supersynchronous speed is obtained, supersynchronous motoring is obtained. So, this is the how the scheme works. Same thing can be derived for some subsynchronous regeneration also. So, for different cases this can be extended. So, in feature is in this Servius drive continuous regeneration from using a variable source constant frequency wind generation system, the control strategy remains the same, but the active and reactive currents IP and IQ of the cycloconverter are controlled to control the generator's real and reactive power. So, it is used in variable source constant frequency wind generation. Okay. Next we will discuss sensorless vector control. So, first of all, a speed sensor or position sensor used for vector control is undesirable, because speed sensor or position sensor increases the cost additional it adds to the cost, because of the mounting of it reliability is reduced, also it needs a shaft extension and mounting arrangement. So, these are the disadvantages of using speed or position sensor. So, for that, so instead of using speed or position sensor, they are estimated leading to sensorless vector control drive. So, sensorless vector control drive are devoid of these demerits. So, they are preferred in these days, and with availability of fast signal processors DSPs. So, speed estimation is not difficult or time consuming. So, sensorless vector control is preferred. So, now let us discuss what are the options available for induction motor speed estimation. So, different induction motor speed estimation schemes are: first one is through synchronous speed and slip speed estimation. Second one is direct synthesis from state equation. Another third one is speed adaptive flux observer. Speed adaptive flux observer, which uses the Leuenberger observer. Also, extended Kalman filter can be used. And another option is model reference adaptive system. MRS for speed estimation. So, these are the main prominently used speed estimation algorithms. Apart from them, some other options are there, like using auxiliary signal injection in the rotor circuit or using rotor saliency. So, some other schemes are there, but these 5 are the prominent speed estimation schemes. We will discuss one after the other. So, first we will discuss speed estimation from synchronous speed and slip speed. So, because rotor speed is the difference between synchronous speed and slip speed, the estimated rotor speed omega r hat is the estimated synchronous speed omega I hat minus the slip speed omega SL. And how the synchronous speed omega E is estimated, we have already discussed previously. So, omega E hat is estimated from voltage and current sensing and through flux estimation. So, using the equation omega E hat equal to psi alpha s into V beta s minus Rs I beta s. This bracketed term is derivative of psi beta s minus psi beta s into derivative of psi alpha s, which is V alpha s minus Rs I alpha s whole divided by total flux psi s square. So, this equation is derived earlier, and so synchronous speed is estimated using this equation from sensed voltage and current. And for rotor flux oriented control, the slip speed omega SL we have derived, it is RR LM into IQS by LR into psi r hat. So, slip speed is estimated for this using this equation for rotor flux oriented control, and for stator flux oriented control the slip speed omega SL we have derived, it is 1 plus sigma slip S, the Laplace operator S into TR into LS IQS divided by the rotor time constant TR into psi ds minus sigma ls into IDS. This equation we have derived while discussing stator flux orientation control. So, slip speed is obtained using these expressions for omega SL, and using the estimated synchronous speed, rotor speed is estimated. So, what are the features of this estimation scheme? So, accurate estimation of synchronous speed omega SL, accurate estimation of slip speed omega SL near synchronous speed is difficult because signal magnitude is small and highly dependent on machine parameters. So, near synchronous speed slip speed estimation is inaccurate. So, speed estimation is inaccurate. Then integration of machine back EMF at low speed and low voltages is difficult. So, this inaccurate estimation of stator flux makes omega E estimation inaccurate. So, this speed is inaccurate near synchronous speed and the rotor speed is near to synchronous speed, because omega SL is small. So, estimation is inaccurate, slip omega SL estimation is inaccurate. Second thing, at low speeds, that means low frequencies, because that low speeds frequency is also less. So, at low speeds or low frequencies, that means voltage is also low, because V wave control dictates that when the speed is or frequency are less, voltage is also low. So, integration of back EMF is difficult. Difficult means inaccurate. So, stator flux estimation is inaccurate. So, omega E estimation is inaccurate. So, this method of speed estimation fails in these cases. Next, we will discuss the second one. direct synthesis of rotor speed from state equations. So, let us go to the stationary reference frame model of the induction motor. In the stationary reference frame, the stator voltage V alpha s is given by R s into I alpha s plus d psi alpha s by dt. We have discussed this in the stationary reference frame model. So, here we have psi alpha s, the stator flux is stator leakage flux, which is I alpha s into leakage inductance L L s, leakage inductance of the stator into stator current, plus the mutual flux psi alpha m. So, using this we have V alpha from above equation, V alpha s is R s into I alpha s plus stator leakage inductance into d I alpha s by dt plus d psi alpha m by dt. And let us number, this is equation 1. And further, the mutual flux psi alpha m, it is the mutual inductance L m into stator current I alpha s plus rotor current I alpha r. So, from this we have L r by L m times psi alpha m is L r into I alpha s plus L r into I alpha r, and L r is rotor leakage self inductance of the rotor, which is sum of the leakage inductance L r and mutual inductance L m into I alpha s plus L r into I alpha r. So, we have this is L r into I alpha s, and combining the other two terms we have, it is psi alpha r, because L r into I alpha r plus L m into I alpha s is the rotor flux psi alpha r. So, from this equation we have the mutual flux psi alpha m is L m by L r into psi alpha r plus L r into L m by L r into I alpha s. From this you get. Let us number, this is equation number 3. No, this is equation number 2. Further, let us simplify sigma Ls. Sigma is the leakage coefficient, sigma Ls. Sigma Ls is Ls minus Lm square by Lr. So, it is stator self inductance is Ls plus Lm, then minus Lm square by Lr. So, this is leakage inductance Ls plus Lm into Lr minus Lm by Lr. So, this is stator leakage inductance Ls plus this term is Lm by Lr into stator rotor leakage inductance Llr. So, this is sigma Ls. This is equation number 3. Let us number it. So, sigma Ls is given by this. Now, substituting equation 2 in equation 1, we have Lm by Lr d psi alpha r by dt plus LLR into Lm by Lr di alpha s by dt plus LLS into di alpha s by dt plus Rs into I alpha s. This is V alpha s. In equation 1 of V alpha s, we substitute the expression for psi alpha m from equation 2. Okay, we get this. So, combining second and third term, in the whole equation, we have di alpha s by dt multiplied with the two inductance additions and using equation 3 in that place. We have Lm by Lr into d psi alpha r by dt. Second and third term combination is sigma into Ls, that is how we have derived in third equation, sigma into I Ls into di alpha s by dt plus Rs into I alpha s equal to V alpha s. So, from this equation we can write d psi alpha r by dt equals to, taking other terms to the right hand side, Lr by Lm into V alpha s minus Lr by Lm whole into Rs plus sigma Ls d by dt of I alpha s. This is equation number 4. As we have obtained for the alpha axis winding, for the beta axis winding, in the same way we can write d psi beta r by dt equals to Lr by Lm V beta s minus Lr by Lm whole into Rs plus sigma Ls into d by dt whole into I beta s. This is equation number 5. So, when we have voltage sensors and current sensors, to sense the voltage, line voltage and currents, we generate V alpha s and V beta s, I alpha s and I beta s, and using equation 4 and 5 we estimate psi alpha r and psi beta r every moment. We have an estimation of the rotor flux components psi alpha r and psi beta r. So, this is how rotor flux is estimated using equations 4 and 5. Now, let us use the current model which we have discussed previously. Current model also estimates the rotor flux from the measured stator currents and the rotor speed. The equation is like this: d psi alpha r by dt, that is Lm by Tr into I alpha s minus omega r into psi beta r minus 1 by Tr into psi alpha r. Let us number this as equation number 6, and other equation is d psi beta r by dt Lm by Tr I beta s, then speed EMF term is plus omega r into psi alpha r, and last term is minus 1 by Tr into psi beta r. This is equation number 7. So, further we have the angle theta e, tan theta e is psi beta r by psi alpha r from the vector phasor diagram. So, this is the expression for tan theta e. So, this implies omega e, that is d theta e by dt, is obtained as psi alpha r into psi beta r dot minus psi beta r into psi alpha r dot whole divided by psi r square. This is equation number 8. Substituting equation 6 and 7 in equation 8, we get omega e in equation 8 is 1 by psi r square whole into psi alpha r into psi beta r dot, and substituting psi beta r dot, we have Lm by Tr I beta s plus omega r into psi alpha r square minus 1 by Tr into psi alpha r into psi beta r, then minus psi beta r into psi alpha r dot. Substituting the expression for psi r dot alpha r dot, we have psi beta minus psi beta r into Lm by Tr into I alpha s plus omega r into psi beta r square plus 1 by Tr into psi alpha r into psi beta r. So, here this is with minus sign, this is with plus sign, they cancel each other. Now, this is omega r into psi alpha r square, this is omega r into psi beta r square. We just combined these two terms, we have omega r into psi square, psi alpha r square plus psi beta r square equals to psi r square. So, combining these two terms and taking it outside the bracket, we have omega e equals to psi r square cancels. So, we have only omega r and plus Lm by Tr is the multiplier into this term is psi alpha r into I beta s minus psi beta r into I alpha s whole divided by psi r square. This is equation number 9. So, now using equation 9, speed is estimated. So, how the algorithm is like this, flow algorithm of speed estimation. First, rotor flux psi alpha r and psi beta r are estimated using equations 4 and 5. We have derived it. Second process, omega E is estimated using equation 8. So, in equation 8 we have omega E estimation in terms of psi alpha and psi beta r. Now, in the first step we have estimated psi alpha and psi beta r using equations 4 and 5. Then using those psi alpha and psi beta r and equation 8 we estimate omega E. Then final step, equation 9 is used to estimate speed. Equation 9 is used to estimate speed omega r, because omega E is already known, estimated. So, psi alpha and psi beta r in this equation are already estimated. So, using equation 9 and equation previous estimated omega E, equation 9 speed is estimated. So, we have finally you can write omega r estimate is omega E estimated, which is done using equation 8 minus Lm by T r psi alpha r we have already estimated into I beta s minus psi beta r into I alpha s divided by psi r square. So, using this equation, this is the equation 9. So, using this equation speed is estimated. So, this is the speed estimation scheme using direct synthesis from state equations. Thank you for attention.